In the 17 or so years I've been doing practical shooting, not a whole lot has actually changed with timers themselves. The Pocket Pros and the CEDs have been out there for a very long time, but not much has changed. I did get excited about the original Shot Max when that originally came out. That has not only accelerometer, so it actually will work indoor ranges and things like that when there's loud shooting going around, but it has a Bluetooth feature which I was not too impressed with. It didn't have good app support. It was hard to keep connected to a device. So it really didn't work very well. And of course, there was no Practiscore integration at the time. So that was kind of a letdown. So now we have Practiscore has been working with a few vendors. One called AMG Lab just put this nice little device out, this nice little commander timer. Really, really cool timer, and seems to be working really well. Does the basic things you want to do well, really, really well, and really straightforward. But also, of course, has this Bluetooth integration feature with Practiscore that makes it well worth it. So I'm going to show you how that works with Practiscore, and then I can get into some of the specifics on the timer. I've got this guy as the sensitivity up, and actually the way up, all the way up, and the volume all the way down right now on the beep. There's 3 settings for the beep. But visitor scoring tablet, I'm going to click up here on this little, on any Practiscore past version 1.6. You have a little timer up here, has a slash to it. We click on that. This sees the AMG Lab timer. This one says it's 8921, so we're going to link to that one there. And that's it. Your timer is now connected over Bluetooth. We're going to go ahead and score Mr. Hendricks Jimmy right here for this match. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and beep the timer here, and we'll give a couple of times on it. Okay, so there's 6 shots that we just did. The first shot being 99, the split on that being a 76 split. And obviously, if you want to go back through, there's shot 1 of 6. It shows really, really clearly 1 of 6, 2 of 6, 3, etc., etc. So really nice, big, bright display. Really easy to see what shots you're on. Really obvious to move backwards and forwards. Also, it has some pretty cool features to be able to just hit the menu button once, and then you can look at the previous shot strings, shot strings that you've shot on this timer. So this is the last 3 shooters that have gone, and in this case, so that was looks like 475, and then you can see that the previous time it was recorded on this one when I started was 182.36. So if you had like a 3-shot string, you could actually see all 3 strings right here. So in case you hit the timer again and forgot to go back and look. But I digress. We're going to get back to the scoring tablet here. Let's see. So we are connected now. You see again, we're connected on Bluetooth. I'm going to go ahead and let's get these guys all 2 ways. I'm just going to hit the little timer button right there. And there you go. You see that 475 populates the top, and the scoring did come through, and I will show you the details in that scoring in just a second here. I'm going to hit review. Right here in the review, a little hard to see, but down at the bottom you will see the total time. So the first shot here was at 99 seconds, then 156, 54, 52 split, 47 split, and a 67 split for a total of 6 shots, which is in the parentheses there. Total time of 475, and there's my hit factor, obviously. And here's I've been scoring the same one. So if you go back, if you're looking through the history on the tablet itself, you will see again these other times that have been recorded from the shot timer. They've come over dynamically, and you see there the full string on any of those that have come through. So we're going to take this one and we're going to approve it. Now let me show you quickly what it looks like when you're actually looking at your results in the competitor app, which most of you know, this is, I think, a $10 app. Really, really well worth it. Not only to support Practiscore and everybody else, the different Ken Nielsen and his folks that are doing all the coding, but really just a lot of valuable data. And what makes this data even better now is that for this match, we used this timer at the local NRA indoor match that Derek put on the other day. Used it for all the shooters. So you'll see now with the shooters for these carry optics divisions I've selected, you see the little timer icon by all those times, which means that there are full times including start time and all the splits associated with this. And to show you what that looks like then, clicking on one of these shooters here, we're going to go stage info. And under stage info, you'll see that you have, for Mr. Jones, we have all of his times for that for that stage, along with, of course, hits and everything else. And I'm going to go ahead and you can also do a time chart comparison. So if you're comparing shooters, you select the time chart comparison, and right there you can see exactly what happened. You see here we all drew about the same time on this stage. One shooter a little bit slower, and then Greg and I were pretty close right up to the reload. Looks like I got my reload in a little bit sooner, and then I don't know what this other guy was doing, but it looks like he kept on shooting after we both stopped. And of course, there's a time up there, so looks like the reload might have been a little bit longer too. Don't know what was going on there, but it's really interesting to see, okay, if I finished faster than him, where was the difference? And of course, through that time chart, you can get that difference and that idea. So that is really, really cool. And that is worth the price of admission right there. I like that a lot. So back to the timer now itself. As far as the loudness, it seems really, really loud. Didn't have any problems with it. I have it turned down right now. Let me walk you through some of the settings that we have here. So I'm just going to click on the menu button. You can see, hold down the menu button rather. So it does have several presets. So it's a little bit slow to set the part times, but since you can have your presets actually have all of your sensitivity and your par times, and you can set multiple par times, which is pretty cool. So you can have 3 par times on one string. I'll show you what that looks like. And we'll step through here. So sensitivity, 10 is the most sensitive. So if you're shooting, let's say, a suppressed gun or something like that, then you go all the way up to 10. If you're shooting something that's super loud, then you might go down lower, or shooting indoors or something else like that. Then you have, of course, your delay, instant, or random, or fixed time delay. You have your overall par times if you want to turn any of the par times on. Delay, your volume, right now it's at 10. I'll show what that sounds like. And that's it. So that's pretty basic, but really you don't need much more than that. And the part times, the presets keep you able to kind of get in and get out and set things really quickly. I should mention that the sensitivity is also configurable from the tablet interface if you're having problems with sensitivity. So here's on the default setting, give you an idea what it sounds like default. Now I'm going to go to one of the presets. I set up preset 5 to be a really high sensitivity, and then it also has on here a three part times. I think the first time set around, let's see what we expect here. So it's on a random delay, and it has a part time at 2 seconds, at 2:45, and at 3 at 3:20. And there's nothing magic about that. It just happens to be what we had the thing set at. Again, beep volume's low. So I'm going to hit this off, see what it sounds like. Okay. Now, the other thing that's nice about this, when you have it on that most sensitive setting, it is quiet enough. I actually just got my racket on my side there, but of course we'll get a hammer fall or even a striker fall without too much problem. So that's pretty cool. And again, that was the most sensitive. It turned up all the way as far as sensitivity goes. I haven't tried it on, let's say, 9 or something else like that to see if there's a sweet spot for what picks up and when. But kind of cool that it can pick up dry fire. So when I got mine, the owner emailed me back and asked me if I wanted to also buy one of these little rubber sleeves for it. This is actually really nice. And I definitely would pick up one of these. It has a nice lanyard, so that fits really, really well. I'll show you how that goes in a second. Other thing about this, if I can get this back off in time, as opposed to some other timers that you have to charge, this guy just takes standard AAA batteries for those guys, so you don't have to worry about running this thing out and then having to go charge it or something else like that. All you have to really do is just bring yourself some spare batteries. So overall, really cool little timer. I'm really, really impressed. Again, we brought it down. We ran it at the Fairfax match at the NRA range, and the folks who ran it said it worked really well, said it worked perfectly, and was actually a little bit of a time saver there. And everybody seemed to like, again, having the additional data to work with. So that's it. If you got questions, throw them in the comments, or I'll probably post this up to the USPSA Area 8 Facebook page, and you can hit me up there if you need anything.